Hello, hello, I'm here today on this lovely patch of green, and the weather can only be described as inclement, which is a nice way of saying it's f***ing shite. I'm here to cover the annual wife carrying race, which is noted for being an event that takes place every year and involves people carrying their wives.
Yes, a race that involves carrying your wife. I think somebody should explain the rules to this guy.
I think the dude's probably getting some last minute practice by practicing with a haystack instead of his wife.
Let's hope he doesn't treat his wife like that. Oof.
As you can see by the title, the camera that I've picked to shoot today's event is none other than the Leica Q2. Fear not though, this is weather sealed. This is a new feature on the Leica Q2. It says on the bottom it's IP52. What does IP52 mean? It means that it can take a few water droplets at an angle of 15 degrees. No more than 15 degrees. You see, yes, it's got water droplets on it already. I just have to make sure not to tip it more than 15 degrees, otherwise, ooh, who knows what's going to happen.
What I do know is that these two guys are going to get disqualified. Get a wife.
Otherwise the body is pretty much a case of it's not broke, don't fix it. And you know, hopefully I don't have to fix it after shooting with it in this rain. Let's see.
Thankfully, I didn't have to wait too long because the conditions were getting worse.
Dangerous. Look at that, dangerous mud.
And that malevolent mud ended up causing some minor pre-race injuries. If you don't know much about its predecessor, the Q2, like the Q, has an amazing 28mm semi-lux lens and ultra-discreet shutter, which is just as well because using the 28mm lens really pushes you to get up close and personal with your subjects.
But yes, as you saw on the bottom, new battery.
It's done in a similar style to the TL2 with a flick push eject battery, giving a slightly longer battery life than the Q, 350 shots versus 300.
It is extremely slippy out there. We did have an accident last year.
The formula is quite simple. It's made in Germany, it's full frame, it's discreet, it has M-like qualities for those who can't deal with manual focus only. But if you want to focus manually, you can.
That's how they carry their wives. Now, you don't actually have to carry your own wife. It could be somebody else's wife, but you have to get permission from whoever's husband that wife belongs to. Now, the big new feature of this is that it's got 47 megapixels, which is double the amount that the Q had, which means in crop mode, you've got the crop feature, which you do by pressing this button here. It's now got a 75mm frame line, and that is roughly a 7 megapixel picture.
The idea is that with that kind of resolution, you don't have to always be shooting with a 28mm field of view. With a button press, you can get that extra bit of reach when needed. Of course, with 7 megapixels, you're not going to be printing huge with it, but it gets you a shot.
There we go.
But with 47 megapixels, it's better news for the other frame lines.
But that means if you're also using 35 or 50mm crop, you still get a reasonable amount of megapixels. This looks really dangerous. In fact, last year there was a serious injury when a man dropped his wife on her head. But it's alright, he's got a new wife, so no, not really. Nah, she turned out alright. Now it has a 10 FPS, it's got a 10 FPS burst, 20 FPS if you use electronic shutter.
The Q did 10 FPS, but that didn't have 47 megapixels.
Well, one thing is that now the continuous mode isn't accessed by using the on-off switch. So now you don't get accidental bursts of images that you don't actually mean. I mean, the buffer does soon fill up. It's not gonna be a sports camera.
To be fair, it's a high-resolution camera with a 28mm lens. It's not meant to be a camera for photographing sports as such. You're looking in the wrong place if you're expecting that. But for what it's worth, the focusing was mostly pretty reliable and quick for shooting your bog-standard wife-carrying race. The viewfinder is still 3.68 megapixels, but apparently it's a newly developed OLED finder, and it looks great and lag-free. They say it focused on the subject in less than 0.15 seconds. Whatever, all I know is that it's more than adequate for a camera like this, a small compact camera ideal for travel or street photography. Well, it has a video mode to 4K 24 or 30p, 1080 120p with the stabilization too, but to me this is all about being a great stills camera that has been refined with extra resolution and lots of it as well to make most of those crop frame lines to produce some images of sufficient resolution with a super sharp lens. Oh, and thankfully for me, usable in conditions like this.